Welcome, everybody, to episode 242 of the effing title. I am Oliver Queen.
I'm fat, baby.
And together, we are the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The Huskyverse.
Huskyverse. God, imagine
Huskyverse.
that. The Huskyverse. Jesus.
The Husky Boys.
That would be a way to implode.
All I can think is the Hardly Boys from South Park. I got a clip.
Yeah, so we are here. We are back. It is podcast day.
Podcast day.
Podcast day. Exciting days here. Exciting days. We're trying to figure out things to talk about because everything's kind of dead, other than, like, you know, a couple of things that we don't want to talk about, which we'll talk about right now.
I shaved my face.
He did shave his face.
Yeah.
I like it. I thought about shaving my something. I don't know what yet. I don't know if I wanted to shave my beard. I don't know if I wanted to shave my head again. I don't know.
Shave your head. You like how you said you look good with a shaved face. You look good with a shaved head.
It's funny because, like, I saw myself look in the mirror after taking a nap, I think it was. Like, so I just slicked the hair back, and it's just fucking disgusting. And I'm like, I looked up at myself under the glasses, and I'm just like, it was kind of those things where it's like, it actually doesn't look that bad right now. Just an absolute scumbag, just slicked hair. Like, yeah, no, but I don't know. I mean, there's only a couple of things. I mean, I feel like we hit most of the big, like, things that were going on, and then everything is now starting to die down. I mean, right now we got Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is big right now. My buddy just texted me right before we started. He's like, DLC's amazing, and he's like someone that's like 500 or 600 hours in on PS5 just. Yeah, I saw building his character.
I saw Asmongold, and I don't know if it's the full thing or not. I don't know if it was his editor doing a fantastic job or not. But, like, Asmon, was like, fuck it, I give up. I'm not doing this anymore. And then, like, he comes back and he does it, and he does it. He's now ripping back through it again. But instead of doing his character where he, like, dodges and does all this stuff, he just built a character that's just a fucking hefty boy that just blocks everything. And, like, he's just ripping through it now. Like, so.
I do know people are upset because it's hard, which is, like, very funny.
It's a fucking, it's Elden Ring. Like, it's a soul.
Okay, I saw Kai send that video because he's still doing the live stream right now.
Is he still? Is he doing the DLC right now?
Oh yeah, he's got to be almost 2 days in.
I did not know that. Well, you keep going with that. I'm gonna look at that.
Real quick. He's got to be. And so he was saying that he's like, bro, it's 2 years since it came out. They're not gonna release a DLC that's easy. The game's hard. When do you think that you're supposed to, like, walk through it?
Well, that's the other thing, is, like, it's a Souls game, and you know it's one of those things where, like, they released a DLC. It's one of the biggest DLCs probably released in the last little bit, right?
Yeah,
it's basically a full fucking game, from what I've heard.
I haven't played Destiny. They just released a Destiny DLC. You probably didn't even hear that. So,
you know, so it's one of those things. It's like they're going to make it just as difficult, if not more difficult.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been hearing. So, I mean, good for them.
It's a new skill tree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He was like, it's a skill issue, which is, like, very funny to hear, because he's like, yeah, you're right. It's a skill issue.
Well, and it's funny because it's like it genuinely is a skill issue. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, that's really the big gaming one. There is another gaming one that we're just not going to talk about.
Chained Up? I haven't played Chained Up.
Chained Up, I've seen people playing it, but it's one of those things, and this is a me thing. So you said you played it, right? You've seen it.
We have not finished it.
Okay.
I bought it. I bought it for two of my buddies, so, like, the three of us have been playing it.
Have you been enjoying it?
Yeah. So we are not being hardcore about it. You can do easy mode or like normal mode, where, like, if you get knocked off, you just go to a checkpoint. Because, like, I'm not starting over again.
Yeah. No. Fuck that. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
My thing is, this is, like, anytime I see anything like this, it's always funny to me. Because it's funny, as a content creator, I see it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how many other content creators are gonna randomly just take a break from what they normally do just to do this because it's hot. And every fucking one of them.
Well, we saw it with Always Up, which is essentially the same game but single player.
Yep.
Because the same thing happened, and then I don't know. I like it because you could play it with your friends, and so like me and my 2 friends we were playing it, and we're all just screaming at each other.
Yeah, of course.
And it was like, because it'd be like 2 of us. We're all like we're thinking the same way. We're going in this direction, and then my one buddy we just decide to jump in a different direction. Be like, we're going this way.
I want to go this way.
Yeah, no, and he'd be like, "Why don't you come with me?" You're like, "That's not the way we're going."
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, that's really that. There's nothing really for card games out right now. Modern Horizons just came out. Actually, the new Assassin's Creed stuff just came out. Ooh, you got it in.
It came in yesterday.
Interesting. Mine is... Oh, boy, where's mine?
Mine said Monday. Came in yesterday, so I don't know what that's all about, but
mine
it's okay.
Mine still says Monday, and it says it just arrived in Jersey.
Is that a surprise? Have we said what we're doing yet?
No, we have not said it yet, but it's fine. I mean, yeah. So so first, what? We're in tornado watch till 8 tonight.
Oh, I just got that too 6 minutes ago.
What? I mean, I got that from my mom. Like,
I got one from my weather app.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
All right, so me and DeNutte are gonna be recast into Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road.
Into the new Twisters movie with.
Dude, that actually looks terrifying.
But actually, I kind of want to go see it.
I do too. It's funny because like I grew up with the original one, and the original one was terrifying.
Yeah,
as a kid.
I mean, did you ever go to Florida? Did you do the Universal ride?
No, so I was in England when that happened. But the thing is, though, is that so I was in England when that movie came out. I do believe. I now want to look it up.
Yeah.
But the thing is this.
I imagine. Yeah. I mean,
it was 96.
You moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12. You 12.
So I was 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, because I was born in 89.
But still.
Yeah. So I was 7.
Yeah. So that would have been around the same time.
Yeah. So my thing is this: that like so. I grew up with it because when it first came out, I watched it around that age. But my mom and dad, when my dad was in the Air Force, he was bouncing around the Midwest, or the mid of the country for a little bit, because he was in Nebraska, the Dakotas, all of that. And they were
was he in the Air Force?
Yeah, my dad was Air Force. So, and they were under tornado watch a couple times out there. And he said that it is the weirdest thing, just sitting there and everything's fine, and then suddenly the sky turns green. And he said it is the weirdest fucking thing. So when the movie came out, and I specifically remember the movie being terrifying, but then my mom and dad and seeing like kind of like the look of like, this is really fucking close to what it actually is, like, that sort of thing on their faces. It was one of those things where it's like, yeah. And now you see this one, and it's like, this looks fucked. Like,
so the ride at Universal, it's like more of a show. You stand there, and it does like a whole simulation of a tornado. Like things are rolling down, the street collapses. Like things explode and fire. It's like it's like a Hollywood show. And I remember feeling the heat as a kid, and it was terrified because when I saw this when I was probably 7.
Yeah.
I was thinking like seeing this like city explode, and I was like, oh my god.
That's wild. Yeah, no,
That's wild.
Couldn't imagine that. Yeah.
New Twister. Oh, yeah. Actually, I almost went to yesterday.
Went to what? You went to what yesterday?
Oh, Smitty's.
Oh, Smitty's. Nice. What'd you go see?
I didn't. We ended up not going, but I really wanted to go see the bike riders.
Oh yeah. What is it cool with the bike riders, or is it Bike Land? I don't want to say it was cool. It's called Bike Land.
The bike riders.
It is the bike. Okay. For some reason.
With Austin Butler and Tom Hardy, Norman Reedus.
It looks from the
Michael
trailers,
Shannon.
from the trailers and stuff I've seen. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's like we want to join the group, and it's like you. Not them, only you. Kid takes like 3 steps forward, and he's like, "Nope,
not you either, bitch.
Not you. You're gonna leave your fucking brothers." It's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, "That's one of those things." It's like, that's such a douchey test, but I fucking love that though. That's so good, you know.
So quick and easy.
Yeah. So on the next episode of First Time Playing, which has now been changed. It would still be under the main heading of the effing title. However, though, We have now finally figured out a name for what we're going to do on those days, or what those days will be. And it is officially going to be the effing card game, because
it fits.
It fits. It fits along with what we're doing.
It's right there. It's right there.
So the effing title is going to be the main podcast from now on, but there will be subsections of it that we will be doing. I'm probably going to start the effing sports. I might as well at this point, right? Like,
yeah.
So on
What's your network? The effing network.
The effing network. Yeah, there we go. See, because it used to be HSN, Husky Sports Network. I used to have a whole. I used to have a whole little like repertoire of like, little things. Yeah,
rebrand. That's all.
Rebrand the whole thing. The whole thing is now just the effing title.
I'll pay some guy $5 on Fiverr to come up with a effing card game logo.
But yeah, so
that's not next week. It's the week after. I'm just looking. I thought it was next week, but no.
We are going to be playing One Piece, the One Piece trading card game. It's one that we've talked about. It's one that we've heard about. It's one that we know is a big popular one right now, apparently. So we thought, well,
apparently, sorry.
Yeah, so we thought we'll do it. There is some other ones down the line here that we will be doing on let's see, TFCG, the FN. Yep, TFCG. One of them is called Union Arena. It's a brand new one that's coming out in a couple months. But it's like, so remember how I said like there's a couple that do like anime stuff?
Yeah.
This one is like this is like a new version of that. I was told about it by our good friend here at the channel, Jagger. He told me about it and told me to keep my eye out on it, so when it comes out, we can actually make sure we get right on it.
It's funny. Kat came over today and she looked at the room, and then I need to figure out a better card storage system for like, especially like with all these other ones we have, because I just have piles of cards right next to me. She was looking through the Card Fight Vanguard deck.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Is this a waifu deck?" I'm like, "It's a cop waifu deck." Thank you.
Yeah.
And she's like, can I put this in my computer? So there was one of them that she wants to put in her computer. It's
that's awesome.
It was like a Sailor Moon cop. Yeah.
I like that. No, so as of right now, there's only 2 starter decks, it looks like. However, though, it is coming out 10/4. And it's funny. So it's weird. So this is all on TCG, right? There's 2 starter decks coming out.
What's it called?
It's called Union Arena. And there's 3 booster boxes, though, coming out. One of them is Jujutsu Kaisen. One of them is Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War. And one of them is Hunter x Hunter. So it looks like we're getting another anime-based card game.
Yeah, because I saw another one at PAX, and I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I think, so Juju and Hunter, unless it was this game.
It might have been this game, with it being 10/4. I mean, they may have been showing stuff early there.
What would you get?
If I was to do this out of those 3?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if there was a JJK deck, it would either be between the JJK deck or the Hunter x Hunter deck, because those are the 2 that I've seen.
See, I would pick Hunter x Hunter over the 2, but I wouldn't even go for Bleach, because I don't know Bleach.
I don't know Bleach either, so... but still, this is one that I saw, though, they said about, I saw, there's only 2 starter decks, but 3 sets, which makes me think there will be a JJK deck, but it's not out yet, like that sort of thing. But kind of, again, like I said, kind of interesting, because we've been talking about it before, Weiss Schwarz.
Oh, there's going to be, they have pictures on their website. They have One Punch Man, which is what I would get.
Okay.
Demon Slayer...
I haven't even been to the website, to be honest with you.
Yes, Lelouch of the Rebellion.
Oh, they got a full code. Okay, so there, Bleach, Hunter, Hunter, JJK, Code Geass, pickup, demo session, demo deck event. It looks very much just. Whoa, was that an online site? Try out Union Arena trial game. Play now. Interesting.
Maybe they were there.
I think this might have been there. I'm just going based off of what I'm seeing here.
So they
character.
This will be Anime Expo and then Gen Con, which definitely heard of Gen Con.
Very much looks like a mix between Actually, this looks like a mix between a lot of these ones. This looks like a mix between Dragon Ball, the way the Dragon Ball cards look, the way the Universe...
Looks like Card Fight Vanguard.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say. It's a little bit Card Fight Vanguard, and it also looks like the Universe My Hero cards as well. So, and even the White Schwartz. It has a little bit of everything, it looks like. From what I'm seeing, anyway. Just from the look of the cards that I was just seeing, because they were just flipping through a bunch of cards. Code Geass, Starter Deck Bleach, Playmat and Half Storage Deck Bleach. Hunter x Hunter, same thing there. JJK Starter Deck, so there would be a JJK Starter Deck. That comes out.
So it looks like the
November.
starter decks are just going to be $12.
On here, yeah. Because
on their website,
on
box
TC,
is 40.
On TCG, they're 20 right now, which is TCG.
Yeah.
Those are going to be, they'd be a little bit higher.
This is straight from the Union Arena website. They already have them listed. I think you can. So playmat, half storage box, and the set is $40. Which actually, there does.
I want to click on that and see, because that seems like a solid little deal. But I want to
can pre-order it right now.
Hold on.
You can only pre-order to pick it up at an event.
And also watch out with that, because it says here content is a playmat and a storage box, so there is no cards with that as well.
Oh, you're right.
Still, a playmat and a box for 40 isn't terrible pricing, but yeah. So that's one that we were told about to keep our eyes on.
Go to the list. That's a couple months down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's $12 for a deck, so it's not like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the next ones we will be playing, and I haven't even told him yet about it, but we will be playing that I've already looked at. Well, I was looking at it anyway, and I was just looking around, and I could buy the starter deck that I want for $8, and then on their site they had the Overlord trial deck, and they had the Chainsaw Man trial deck. So I was like, I can get both of those. And then there was a Lorcana product, so I was like, I can get that too. And then I can just ship you your fucking Chainsaw Man deck, and then it's like, there, boom. There's 1.5 next, months.
Which one's that called?
Which one? The Chainsaw Man one?
Yeah.
White Schwartz. All anime based. All anime. But that's that. Now let's get into the main.
Hunter x Hunter says it comes out September 27th, 24.
Ooh. All right, I'll do some looking and put them onto the list, because as of right now, the only one that I have really on the list is, let's see here, on 9/01 we're playing Lorcana. That's the only one that I have right now. Well, 9/01 is Lorcana.
Is there a release for that one? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think the release for the Lorcana is August. Yeah, the release for the next one is August 12th for Lorcana, but it comes out to the public at like the beginning of September, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, that works. But enough about card games. It's now time to talk about manlier things. Comic book heroes.
Comic book heroes on a network that has Teen Wolf on it.
Yes. And what else did they have? The 100.
Vampire Diaries.
Oh, there we go. Another solid one.
Supernatural.
What was the what was Archie?
Oh, was that on there or was that on Netflix?
That was on... I know it wasn't called Archie, though. What was it called? What's the town of that? What's the town Archie's in?
It was the name of the town. I can't remember.
Somethingville.
I keep wanting to say Smallville, but it's not.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I have to look it up. I have to. I need to know now, because it's gonna be Archie. Comics.
Rivendell.
There we go. Rivendell. Yes, the Rivendell.
Riverdale.
River. Not even Riven.
Riverdale. Yeah.
Rivendell's Lord of the Rings. We're talking about the Arrowverse on the CW. DeNutte surprised me randomly within the past couple weeks, I think it was. Yeah. And he just goes, I'm rewatching Arrow. And I was like, dope.
I'm about to, I think I have one episode left in the fourth season. That's where I'm at.
Ooh. Yeah.
Which is so many episodes, because like if you're like, oh, you're only 4 seasons in, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm 90 episodes in.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that is one of the old school ones where it was because it's 90 minutes, right? 90-minute episodes.
No, it's
Oh no, 90. Sorry,
to an hour.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, I don't know why I said 90.
23 episodes.
Yeah, it's the old school, like basically hour-long 23 episode series that like literally would take you a full, like it took half a year.
It's 6 months.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was awesome.
That's crazy.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
like
because I watched it I watched it on release, and then I would watch The Flash, and then those two I would watch, and then I'd watch when they do their crossover events, which is very funny when you're watching the Arrow and they're clearly having a crossover event, and if you didn't know about The Flash, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm. The other thing that's funny with that is that like if you are rewatching them, it's like suddenly it's like, especially in the later seasons, because in the later seasons it's like you fully have to like. Part 1 is on Arrow, Part 2 is on Flash, Part 3 is on this. It's like you get introduced to what's happening, and then in the next episode, it's like, oh, that's all over with now. And it's like...
Yeah, and like, I know at some point, Barry really messes with the timelines, and it changes everything for all the shows, but it doesn't, like, explicitly say that. So, like, that to me, like, that's crazy to me, but it's whatever.
Yeah. So the Arrowverse, for people that don't know, was, originally it was just Arrow. Arrow was made onto the CW. It was after Smallville. They wanted to do a Batman-esque show, like a darker kind of show, and they didn't know what to do, so they did Arrow. And that's why in the first couple seasons of Arrow, if you're watching it, there's a lot of Batman villains. It's very dark. He acts kind of more like Batman than Arrow does, sort of thing. And it's one of the points of like, it's like, why it isn't the great show that it should be, and why, like, the Hardo's fucking call off on it.
Rewatching it, he's a psychopath. Season 1. Mm-hmm. He murders so many people.
Oh yeah, I have my book. My dad named these.
Well, not only that, the first episode he gets kidnapped and he just breaks the guy's neck, right? Like,
no one can know my secret.
Like,
snap.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. Got it. Like they're at the table as well, and like everything's going good, everything's fine. It's like, so how long have you been fucking my mother? It's like, where did that come from?
But Thea, season 4.
Jesus.
I actually want to interject that she's not that bad. Season 4.
She goes, yeah. She has the one rough little bit there, and then she kind of has like an up and down thing. It all depends on if Roy's there as well. In my opinion, because I liked Roy.
I like Roy too.
Yeah. But so starts off with Arrow, then we get introduced to all these other shows. As you can see, if you're visually watching, I go to the different. Got a great little lineup here of them. So we got Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, including web series of Vixen and Freedom Fighters, with crossovers of Constantine, the Flash TV show from 1990, and Lucifer. Funnily enough, what I'm looking at right here does not list.
Is Lucifer the same universe as this?
Yes. So the interesting.
No way.
So this is kind of the interesting thing with this, and we get to that in a second after I get this one. Superman and Lois isn't on the list, which is interesting. It makes sense. I would consider it a part of the Arrowverse, but I know there's going to be some people that don't. We're going to just consider it a part of it because we're going to. So
it is a CW show.
Yes. And along with it's one of those other ones as well. It's like technically, I mean, see, this is the thing. So in okay, so in the crossover where they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, they did the crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was the big event. We're not going to spoil everything in it, but that was the big event. Like that's what everything had been leading up to, right? In that event, they basically canonically say that all of DC is interconnected. So whereas with like Marvel was just starting to do that, like they were like trying to set up the breadcrumbs of it, the Arrowverse literally just went, here it is. Everything's connected.
Like the Batman
Yeah.
with Robert Pattinson.
Yep.
Even though they say it's not.
So that's the thing is that it all depends on what you're gonna consider. To me, all of DC is connected now because this literally had in the intro to it they had that the old school 1990s Flash. They had Swamp Thing. They had Teen Titan or Titans, as it's called.
Ezra Miller is in it too.
Ezra's
right?
in it, which connects that universe. Because originally, what was supposed to happen was that's how Ezra's the Flash gets his name. Was because Barry says that they call it like I'm the Flash,
and
that's how
Grant Gustin was he in the Flash?
Grant was supposed to be, and he's not.
Okay.
Which I think is a slap in the face. It's like, that's another topic for another day. But the fact that
I love him as the Flash.
The fact that you have a Flash movie that does the multiverse thing, but yet they do not include the two main Flashes that have been on TV, or like the main two live action Flashes, is the biggest slap in the face to.
And they included one that was going to be, and then they ended up not making it, which is kind of funny.
Exactly. So
I forget who that was, but
it was Nicolas Cage's Superman.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
Yep. And then they also used CGI to make sure that Christopher Reeves was in there. Because why not make a shit movie even more shit? But so
it's a design choice.
Yeah. So in Crisis on Infinite Earths, though, they do that. They do this like thing where like they say that like the multiverse actually exists now, and you can bounce between it, and like everything is connected. Like that's kind of the way they do it, because it's like even Batman, like that Batman, right? Like the old school really campy one.
Can't remember his name, but yeah,
Adam West. There we go. The Adam West Batman. That is in it. Because what they do is at the very beginning of this crossover, they set up so it says like Earth this. It says Earth this, and it just shows the red wave just clearing off and killing everyone. That's how it starts. The whole thing. It's just all these different multiverses just getting destroyed one by one. Boom, boom, boom. And it shows but it does it in a way that shows all of these universes that don't. They're like, why are you showing this?
Marvel did it better.
They did in the big scope. Yes, they did. But they
did in Spider-Verse they did. They nailed it in Spider-Verse, but
still, so that's one of the things they did in this. So in one of the episodes, though, they're going to go find Oliver's soul, I think it is, or something like that. And they need to go find it. And Constantine's like, well, fuck, I know a guy. And then they travel to the multiverse. Then they travel off their Earth to the other Earth where Lucifer is. And they have a little crossover with Lucifer, where Lucifer gives him a card so he can enter hell, and he only has a certain amount of time. And
is that a DC comic?
Yeah. So Lucifer, Constantine, and Sandman are all a part of Vertigo, and Vertigo is owned by DC. That's why, like, the Sandman show is technically DC. Lucifer, technically DC.
That's fun.
Yeah. So there's a couple of those that's like fun ones.
I love Lucifer. You watch Lucifer?
Yeah, the Lucifer show is great. It was just the right of weird, funny, and also like heartfelt moments. You never thought, like the devil going to therapy and actually like having an existential crisis because everybody blames him for fucking everything and it's not his fault.
Yeah.
But yeah. So to me, yes. And long, short, whatever. To me, Lucifer is a part of it. Everything's a part of DC. To me, all DC is connected now because of this one show, because of this one series, because of that one crossover. Everything's connected. But
I really love, Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois is arguably the best show.
Did you watch it?
I've watched it. Yes. I've watched.
Oh, okay.
I've watched it here and there. I haven't
here and there. Okay.
I haven't sat. It's not like with all the most. I'll say this so. Most of the other ones, and this is something we get to. Most of the other ones I've sat down and it's like start to finish, boom, boom, done. Right? Like I've seen all of it. So I guess we go good, bad, and ugly. I guess that's the best way to break all of this down, right? With talking this. So the good is that it was the like. where Marvel was dominating the movies at the time, the CW DC verse was dominating TV at the time. It was cable TV. You could also watch the episodes for free on the CW app or website.
You still can.
Yeah. So
you could with Superman and Lois. I don't remember.
Well, I still consider that.
If they had the other ones.
Yeah, that's still new. I mean, the old ones I used to watch. That's how I was watching them at one point. Is they would come out on Tuesday and then on Wednesday I'd watch it, like that sort of thing. So that's one of the good things though. One of the good things is that they were kind of dominating the TV space. So it was boom, there you go. Interesting story arcs. Decent acting at times. The acting was very good. At times, the acting was very poor.
And very overacted and cheesy at other times.
Yeah, there was some episodes where it was like holy shit, this is a really good episode, and then there's episodes where it's just like, huh.
I have a hot take. After watching I think Laurel's actress was awful.
Oh, Katie Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like that. Like how I know her name straight off rip.
Poorly written, not her fault, but she definitely was like overacting.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you're like putting way too much into like a normal conversation.
And that's one of the ones right there. That's one of the ones that people are gonna say is a bad take, and I'll agree to an extent. Is not you saying that. It's the fact of Laurel and Oliver are arguably the DC power couple.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, Green Arrow and Black Canary, that's the thing. Forever. You don't that's it. Done. Every universe, every multiverse, everything, it's that. Right? Yes, there is Superman and Lois, Batman and fucking Catwoman. The list goes on and on and on that you can go with, right? Starfire and Nightwing, Joker, Harley, right? You can keep going. But Oliver and Laurel are kind of the big one where it's like, that's it. So when they introduced Felicity Smoke, and now he's dating Felicity, and Laurel is now just kind of a side character, it was kind of one of those things where that pissed a lot of true DC fans off. And that's one of the ones that I'm actually going to agree with. I do understand why they did the Felicity thing, though. I do understand it, but it would have been nice to have seen them stick to just Oliver and Laurel. But, no, the acting was good. I
think I'm jaded because I'm on season 4 right now, where it seems like a lot of the characters are very, very poorly written.
Yes. Well, like I said, you're now seeing what I said last week, right, when we got off air?
Yeah.
About how season 4 is just fucking bad.
I'm thinking, was that during the writer's strike? Is that?
That would have been, because actually, if I scroll down here, I can actually tell you exactly what year that was. Arrow season 4 was 2015, 2016. So, and that season is just universally hated. Let's just word it like that. It's universally hated. So there's some good things. Oh, actually, you know what? Here, I'll do a personal good thing. A good thing for me with the Arrowverse was that I was just getting into DC when this happened. We were just talking about this. So like the big white cabinet that I have right here, I have 8 of these in my bedroom on the other side of the wall that are just filled with DC comic books. And there would be times when they would say like, we're introducing Mr. Terrific. I would go and buy the Mr. Terrific book, or find at least a book of it. We're introducing Batwoman. I went and bought the entire Batwoman 52 run. Like, I was buying full runs of stuff and individual things so that I could read about the person before watching before they showed it on live action, like that sort of thing. So, like, to me as a collector at that point and like a new fan, it was cool because I was getting this is what it's written like in the book versus this is what it is on the screen. So that's what kind of gave me that early perception of like the difference and just being able to appreciate, I guess, the difference between the two, you know, because that's been one of my big ones with DC is DC has the legacy. Marvel's going to run into that within the next 10 years.
Yeah,
that's my hot take with Marvel. Marvel's going to run into a legacy problem within the next 10 years. Because DC has always had this legacy problem where if I say I can do this to anyone, and it proves my point. Who's your Batman? Who's your Wonder Woman?
Well, they're already running into that. Who's your Spider-Man?
Exactly. It's starting to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to hit even harder once it starts going with who's your Captain America?
Oh, well,
who's your Iron Man?
That's a spicy one.
You know what I mean? But like, it's like, who's your Batman? Who's your Superman? Who's your Wonder Woman?
It's tough because like those, especially with Marvel, those characters were so ingrained. It's like a James Bond thing. Like, who's your James Bond?
Exactly.
Or it's like,
and that's
like, I think Robert Downey Jr. was such a good Iron Man.
Yes.
That I don't know if anyone could pass that, like, do better than him.
You agreed. And that's the thing is that like eventually Marvel is going to run into this legacy problem is what I'm calling it, is the legacy problem, because with DC that's always the issue every time something new comes out. Is it's the legacy? It's it's like Brandon Roth is Superman. He's not going to be Greaves, Christopher Reeves. He's not going to be Christopher Reeves. Henry Cavill. He's not going to be Christopher Reeves. This new guy. He's not going to be Christopher Reeves. Batman. Actually, every single Batman is the same thing.
I love Henry, but I think I like Tyler the best.
That is a surprisingly not hot take.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Tyler Hoechlin.
I don't know. I can't remember his last name.
Tyler, the CW, right?
Tyler, yeah.
Right there. That's actually not a hot take. A lot of people think he's the best Superman.
Yeah, I think he.
I like Henry just because Henry, like that Superman movie was the first movie to make me like Superman. I didn't like Superman up until that point. So,
I think Tyler's like he's a really good actor because even as a child he was a really good actor. Because did you ever see Road to Perdition?
Sounds familiar.
It was a Tom Hanks movie where he was a hitman from the mob.
Oh, and he's in it as a kid.
He's the son.
Oh,
that goes around.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like drives him around and like helps him like do all these hits. Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I'll agree. I do like Tyler. I think he's a very good actor. Like I said, for me, Henry was the one that got me into it. But
he's like brilliant. I mean, he's also like. Any like role he plays, because even like watching Argyle, I couldn't get through Argyle.
Yeah,
I thought he was great in it. But then like I saw Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah,
and like I loved him in it. He's a completely different character, but that was like an ensemble thing. That was great. Yeah.
But that's the thing I was saying though is like there's this legacy thing where it's like that, where it's like, because I've always said this is like, if you take, because it goes back to the Christian Bale, Heath Ledger versus Batfleck and Jared Leto's Joker. Goes back to this thing where it's like
I don't know if anyone liked Jared Leto though.
They didn't, but this is my argument, and I always throw this argument there, is that they always say like, oh, it's the one. It's like it has to fit the universe, and this is where my argument will come back around here. Because if you take the Jokers in those movies and you flip them, Ben's killing Ledger, and Leto's killing Bale. They just don't fit in each other's universe, and that's the big.
You know what? Now that you bring it up, I really enjoy Ben Affleck as an old Batman.
Yes.
I don't think I would have really liked him as a young Batman.
So one of the big points with that was that I thought, this is back when Snyder was still in charge and everything was running right, they should have done a Batman movie, that they could have done a trilogy, and it would have been easy on Ben too, where the first two movies are he's there and he's doing crimes in whatever time we are in, so let's just say 2024, right? Crime happens, and then he thinks about it, and something's connecting, and he doesn't know why this feels similar. And then the movie flashes back to him as a young Batman doing basically the exact same case. So now this time then, you would have Ben as Batman, and then you could hire an actor that looks just like Ben to be a young Ben playing young Batman, setting up villains that you could then use in the later franchise. But what it would do is you could set it up like this. So you could set up Hush, and then you could set up Red Hood. So then the final movie of Ben's trilogy is under the Red Hood. Because then at that point now you have Nightwing in the universe, you have Letter's Joker there, you have Red Hood, you have Oliver Queen, you have Superman. Like it would have been such a dope trilogy to have seen, right? With also including not being that heavy on him because he's always flashbacking in the movies to the younger days sort of thing. And I think that would have been a really kind of cool thing to see. But I do agree. I think that I liked the decision to go with an older Batman because it's something we hadn't seen before.
Mm-mm. Except for the Will Friedle Batman animated show, the CW show with Batman Forever. No, Batman. You know what I'm talking about?
Batman Beyond?
Yes.
Yes. That's another topic for another day as well, because we were supposed to get there was test footage done that's got released since this. Have you heard about this? Oh, I'm about to fucking blow your brain and everyone else's brain if they haven't heard this. So this came out like a couple months ago. They were going to do a Spider-Verse visual style, Batman Beyond movie series or TV series. That's what was going to happen, and then they scrapped it because instead now we're getting Jurassic. What is it? It's like a Jurassic dinosaur league, Jurassic League.
Didn't that come out?
No, not yet.
Oh,
it got announced though instead of Batman Beyond.
They just maybe they just added like a Jurassic Park TV show.
Yes, so this is the Justice League, but as dinosaurs. Yeah, so we're getting that instead of Batman Beyond. Thanks, James Gunn. But back to the Arrowverse. So this is what I was saying about with the whole legacy problem and the specific universes is that it really made me appreciate that because I would buy the book for Firestorm, and then I would watch their version of Firestorm, and I'd be like, these are two different people. This is two different things. And it made me really appreciate the difference between fully being able to take my brain and be like, comic version, DC Arrowverse version, and it really did that. So that's another good positive though, is that it made me get into that headspace, but also read about it. The bad.
It's a soap opera.
It is. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's a bad.
Oh, okay.
The writing was so bad, though, for a lot of things. And because, like we said, so, for everyone that doesn't know, Arrow itself was seven seasons, 22 episodes plus, and then the final season was 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of storytelling to do.
Season.
Especially when in season 6 and 7, it's the same fucking villain.
Well, it's you're getting into anime, filler stuff at that point.
Well, Flash went 9 seasons. 23, 23, 23, 23, 22, 19, 18, 20, 13.
That's crazy.
Supergirl went 6. Oh. Legends of Tomorrow went 7. Black Lightning went 4. Batwoman went.
Well, Legends of Tomorrow surprises me because I don't think I've ever watched a single episode. Maybe I watched 2 episodes.
Legends of Tomorrow was the weirdest show.
I was like, I don't like this.
So, did you watch just the first season, or?
I watched a couple episodes. Okay. I don't like this.
So it's funny because this is the easiest way to break it down across the board. Is the Arrow was the dark show, right? Dark, really grounded, boom. Well, they tried to ground everything, but the darkest, groundiest out of all of them. Flash was the brightest of them all, more funny, Supergirl was more political, was more pushing bounds, was more kind of hey, this is a Superman thing, so let's make it a Supergirl thing instead, kind of show. Legends of Tomorrow started off as a Guardians of the Galaxy serious to then we're going to fight a demon with a giant fluffy stuffed bear. Yeah, within 3 seasons, that's the change.
Well, all right, hear me out. Supernatural is kind of like that at times.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever watched Supernatural
Yeah,
long term,
that's not long term, but I've seen like the kind of bits and pieces here and there, and like episodes here and there. It's one that I was going to watch at one point.
Where like there's an episode where he like literally like they kill Hitler because Hitler comes back and like some Nazis like reincarnate him into a body and then they kill Hitler. And then there's another episode where one of the brothers, imaginary friend as a child, comes back to him, and it turns out imaginary friends are real, and they're a race of like mythical beings.
Oh God!
And someone's going around murdering them. So he goes back and finds Sam to recruit him. Which silly concept, but it was really dark because at one point they. You can't see an imaginary friend unless they want you to. So he lets them see, they go to a room, and he's like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, isn't it?
It's everywhere.
Isn't it the fucking
It's kind of a chubby guy.
Yeah, chubby white dude. He's a comedian, right?
Yeah, he's been in like he's out of my league.
Yes. Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, so and like they let him see, and then there's just like a murder and there's blood everywhere, but the blood is like sparkly, so it's like dark and gruesome, but like kind of funny at times.
Yeah, this was like it. They went very serious, and then the mood lightened as the seasons went on. So like I said, there's a point where there's a unicorn goring people. And then it's just like it's like, oh look, a unicorn, and there's goring people, and there's just blood everywhere. And then Constantine's like trying to send it back to hell. Like that's like.
Wait, is he in that show?
He goes into it eventually. Yeah, he eventually goes into it and becomes like a staple. At one point he wasn't, but then he did towards the end of it.
That's fun. Because I really liked that guy. I know we talked about that. That was just a season.
Black Lightning was one of the best shows to be added. However,
I watched 2 seasons.
However, became very heavy-handed with a lot of themes, which is understandable with the show, with the themes, that they would become very heavy-handed, and this could also just be a thought, right? But I did thoroughly enjoy the show, and I do hate that it ended. I mean,
it was similar with like Luke Cage, which. Loved Luke Cage too, actually.
Yeah. I hated how they went. The show was great, and then just it it felt like the network was just kind of like, yeah, fuck it, get rid of it. And it was like this is one of the best shows we have. What are we doing? Like, keep pushing this.
And the actor who plays Black.
Yes.
What's his name?
I mean, I can look right here, but no, he's fucking.
I keep wanting to say Morris Chestnut, but it's not Morris Chestnut.
Chris Williams.
He's the dad in Friday Night Lights of Vince.
Is he now?
Yeah, he was Michael B. Jordan's dad in Friday Night Lights.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Ornette Howard, recurring cast, season 5. Damn.
Yeah, really great in that show, too.
Yeah. No, I mean, unfortunately, that's, like, Black Lightning, playing Jefferson Pierce was one of his last TV roles.
That sucks.
He's been in 3. He's been in a couple movies, but I don't. What Remains, independent drama film. Well, he was the lead in that, so good for him there. Crime Story, does not look like he was the lead. And Violent Heart, it says it stars, and he's like the 4th name down, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, no, I mean, I genuinely loved him as an actor. There was a lot of things. There was like what was the Black Lightning quote? There's a quote from the show that he always used to say to the kids. Oh, where's the future? And then the students would say right here. And whose life is this? Mine. And what are you going to do with it? Live it by any means necessary. It's like, that's such a dope quote, bro. Like, and like there's a scene in the crossover in Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's a part in the crossover where like they need to power like this super generator thing. So he's doing it, and as he's doing it, he's whispering that entire quote to himself and answering the questions while doing it. And it is like he's powering like this quantum like treadmill or the cosmic treadmill. He's generating it by himself, the full power of it, which normally is like the Flash is on it running, and that's what powers it. He's just fucking zzing it. And yeah, so he's like whispering that quote to himself, and it's like I'm getting chills thinking about it because it's just like I remember watching it the first time. It's like this is fucking awesome. Like, and then we get Batwoman.
I don't watch Batwoman.
It's probably better that you don't. It's so
I heard Supergirl's good. I heard Batwoman is not very good.
No. But so that was all the shows. So the negative, honestly, was just that.
Who's the green guy?
That's Martian Manhunter. Which this is gonna be. This is going to be a hot take. For having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series, 20 episodes apiece, they did a really terrible job of making me not care about Supergirl.
Okay.
I will stick to my guns with this. There's I don't know how many. Oh, right here. All series in total is 699 episodes across 37 seasons. They do a terrible job writing women.
They just can't do it. It's like, it sounds bad. It sounds like almost like we're like, oh, you just don't like women. You're like, no. Like,
so this is the thing. So right above me is White Canary. Fantastically written, actually. But she's
Sarah
a side.
Lance.
Yeah, Sarah Lance. She is written fantastically. I also like the actress as well. I think she does a fantastic job. But she's a side character for almost everything until later seasons in Legends of Tomorrow, where she is like one of like the main like. But then it's a group of people.
It's funny watching the Arrow. I remember her being so much bigger than she was.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her being pivotal, and then she's like, it just isn't.
Mm-hmm. Dude, like I said, like it's you take like a lot of these characters, and it's just like I said in Supergirl, you expect Supergirl to be the main driving force in the show. However, though. Not for me. I mean, I think that Melissa Benoist did a fantastic job with the role. But the show itself did not make... Alex Danvers, her sister, I cared more about. I thought she did a better job in total. Who was the other? Because there's like 3 of them. David Harewood is Martian Manhunter. The heart and soul of the entire fucking series. The entire series. The heart and soul of it. There's one part about it where, like he like loses Martian like history, and like there's a heart-to-heart moment with him and his dad, and he's like it feels very organic and very just like you walked into the room while like your friend's parents are arguing.
Yeah,
like it felt like that watching it, and it's like fantastic acting.
And again, this is gonna be like thinking we hate women, but like Iris West, awful character.
Oh, dude, at the very beginning, I was like, dope. Iris is here. Actress is kind of cool. As the seasons go on, it is just more and more bullshit. And then when she hits us with the, no, Barry, we are the Flash. It's like, Flash. Fuck right off. Oh my God. It's universally one of the most hated moments in the entire Arrowverse. We are the Flash. No! But like, it's like, Mon-El. Small role, fantastically written. There's one other person, I'm not seeing her name, and I just want to make sure I get the name right. Nia Nal, Dreamer, who is I don't know if you know this or not in the later series. Dreamer is a transgender woman, played by a transgender actress. Fantastic job with the role, with the acting, everything. She actually writes for DC now and writes Dreamer books.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. I actually really enjoyed her. There's
Nissa Al Ghul, really great.
Yes, they do a good job of writing strong, and it's like I said, this is gonna sound really bad, and I hate fucking having to say this. They did a fantastic job of writing side characters that are women that are very strong, but as soon as they try to make one of them a main focal point driving force, for some reason their brain just explodes and they decide to go into overdrive. And it ruins everything. Like, there's at least 4 or 5 episodes where they're talking about why does it have to be Supergirl? Why can't it be Superwoman? And then it's like they do a full episode where it's like Women power, awesome, great, yes, beautiful. End of the episode. No one wants Supergirl to save them. They want Superman to save them. End of episode. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Like the writing of like they think that like when you write a woman. Sorry, I said female. That's not what I meant. When you write a character, these are all dudes writing this. I'm taking this. They think like the inner conflict of a woman is like crazy different than an inner conflict of a man. Like if you're set, like if you're like thrown into like this conflict and you have a problem, you think that like a woman is going to like react to it completely different, and you're like, well, that's not really the case. Yeah. Like we all run through conflict, and like just because you're a woman or a man, I don't know, it's just like crazy to think that, like we're that different. Because we're not.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like it's like I said, I hate saying it, but like I mean, Caitlin Frost, Flash, fantastically written. There's some corny moments because, of course, she's, Killer Frost. So there's some, corny moments with that where they throw in some ice puns, which it's soap operas, these TV comic books. Like, of course, it's like we said with Arrow, there's a ton of them. Nissa Al Ghul.
What's their face in the Flash? The girl who turns evil later on in seasons and then comes back. Who's Frost?
Yeah, Killer Frost.
Killer Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that actress, and like they wrote her very well.
Yeah.
I cannot remember her name.
Her real name or the name in the show?
Even in the show.
It's
Caitlin. Cisco.
Yeah, Caitlin. It is. Why is this not like in order? Why is DeVoe one of the first ones that shows up here? What the? This list is freaking on crack.
Did you think I think she was like a Disney actress before, like a Disney Channel original movie actress.
Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost, Keon, Danielle Panabaker.
Yeah,
she was also in Sky High. Fun fact.
That's right. Great movie.
But like, yeah, there's like that's one of my biggest bads with this is that they wrote a lot of the side female characters get written either awesome or it's just bad. And then it's the same thing with when they go to being the main characters. Like in the show where you were literally doing not Batwoman because there's not a whole lot of positives there. But in Supergirl, you expect your favorite character, the main character, to be the best one. And her sister's better written in the show, and there's a whole better and like the other thing as well with the Batwoman one is the fact of you have Ruby Rose. Then Ruby Rose doesn't want to come back. There's a whole legal issue there.
That's right. She was the original one, right?
Yep.
Or they were?
Yep. So then you kill them off, and then you introduce a brand new Batwoman.
I didn't even realize that. That's right.
But then you're ready for this because it gets wilder than this, DeNutte. Not only do you kill off Ruby Rose's Batwoman, you introduce just a brand new character to DC lore. And make her Batwoman. Then, Ruby Rose's character didn't actually die. She just got knocked unconscious. So they bring in a new actress to play her. So that character's still technically alive. Which just sucks because it was Wallace Day and she's one of my favorite actresses. Because she was in Krypton. She was an actress in Krypton. Okay. I really liked the Krypton show. And she was in that. But then she came over, and now she's Batwoman. And it was just like...
Yeah, Ruby Rose really messed up her career doing that.
Oh, yeah. But like Alice, Crazy Alice. One of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the main villain. One of my favorite characters, though. Arguably the best woman in the
I think the only series they have seemed to nail... female leads is Superman and Lois.
Yes.
As far as like Lois goes, I would argue there's 4 female main characters or side characters in that show. Well, 5. There's one of the sons has a girlfriend.
Yep.
Superman's ex-girlfriend. Lois's daughter from an alternate universe.
Yep.
And then another news reporter, and they they all have like a conflict, but the way they react to things are all very like it's real because there's times where like there's a young girl who like reacts to things and poorly, but like also like how a 15, 16-year-old girl would deal with like breakups and things, and same thing with the boys. I don't know. I really think you should give Superman and Lois like a full watch because it's.
I've been told that Coop has told me that I need to do it. I need to just sit down and just say F it and just watch the whole thing, which I'm probably.
I think there's 3 seasons and there's 10 episode seasons, so it's not like it's a season and a half of another show. That's it.
Yeah. The one thing, and this goes to another thing where it's like, I think a thing that makes especially a good comic series show is the villain, obviously, right? The villain makes the show. Because it's it's the big finale, it's the big payoff at the end. I'm looking right now down the list here, just season 1 episode. That's it. That's all I have on my screen so everyone knows. Here's the title of the episode, here's what season it is, here's how many episodes it is, and then it gives me some other information. I'm looking down this list. I genuinely can't tell you the villain for most of these. And that's a big and that was another big problem for me, was that, especially in the later seasons of everything, it becomes such a scramble just to, hey, we need to get paid, let's do another season. And
see about season 4 in Arrow, how it's really bad. I actually genuinely like Damien Dark.
The actor.
I think that actor is like it carries it.
Yes, the actor and the character of Damien Dark is phenomenal. However, not an Arrow thing. Shouldn't have been an Arrow thing.
Okay.
I think if they would have done Damien Dark in anything but Arrow, I would have been fine with it. Right? If Damien Dark if Damien Dark was like a villain in like if Constantine had its own show. Or actually,
that makes sense because they brought Constantine in, but that crossover, as far as like them pushing for Constantine to happen, like that would have made sense if they had really pushed it, and then like they could. I really liked that crossover, especially when he showed up to the island.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
And that's the weird thing is it's like that's one of the bigger issues with this is that, like, especially now like we're talking this through and people probably like, oh, why isn't everything just on whatever app they have? So it'd be HBO, right? Like the Max app, like, oh, everything Disney wise is just on Disney Plus. Like that wasn't a thing back here. The first season of Supergirl, I'm going to say, because I don't fully remember, so I'm going to look. The first season of it was on CBS.
Really? It wasn't CW?
No. Because it was on a network. It was on CBS. It was on CBS, and it was on Friday nights against something else. Because they just didn't care. Like, I was thinking, it's like, they pushed the show, and they're like, yeah, sure, let's just put it on here. So they put it up against, like, the titans of every other fucking network. Like, same as Spawn. And then, though, like, it was failing, and this is one of the things. The season was failing. And then they did a crossover with Flash. Where Flash goes super whatever speed, and crosses over into their universe. That episode had the most viewership out of everything. So once the season ended, the CW basically just give us the show, just give us it. And that was like a long thing that happened, and then eventually it came over. But the first season of it wasn't even on the CW. The first season of Supergirl was its own sidebar thing. So, like, the big negative with this is that, like, there was a lot of things where, like, there was shows on other networks and other things where it's like, it could have worked well. Constantine was on, I want to say, CBS as well. It was either CBS or NBC. And that show, honestly, was fantastic. I genuinely really like that. If you're out there and you do like DC TV shows, or you like DC in general, even if you just like spooky stuff, if you can find the Constantine TV show from 2014, it's 13 episodes. I highly suggest going out, finding it, and watching it. Because it was genuinely very good. Very fucking creepy. Very right into the lore of Constantine. The main actor they have for it, Matt Ryan, currently has done the voice of Constantine for almost everything animated that they've done since he did this.
And he's funny.
He's funny. And also the other thing is that he's actually from Manchester. So
me too.
I watched. That's funny. That's funny. Manchester, England. So he actually, there's an interview that I watched of him where he said, he's like, I'm from right around where Constantine was from in the comics. He's like, so I already have that natural voice. He's like, but then he's like, one of the things with Constantine is that he's bounced around the world collecting all of these like sacred artifacts, right? So he's picked up a little bit of an accent or a little bit of a dialect twang or a twing or a, like that sort of thing. So certain episodes, you hear him throw those inflections onto stuff, and he's like, that's one of the cool things about me being an actor is that I need to know this shit anyway. He's like, so it all just fits perfectly with this character. And I was like, that's awesome. Also, another side note, he's also the voice actor of Connor Kenway. No, of Edward. He's of Edward Kenway from Black Flag.
I didn't know that from 4. Yeah.
Yep. He's Edward. He's the voice actor of Edward. Yeah.
Arguably the best one.
Yes. But so it's
I
one
think
of those
by
things
and large, it's between that and 2.
I'm gonna say 3 just because I beat 3. I didn't play 2. I started with
People
3.
hate 3.
I know.
But 3 is my favorite.
Yeah. See, I 3 Brotherhood was my first one. That was my first. And then
that's not. Oh.
Yeah, Brotherhood was the third.
No. Brotherhood.
We're talking 3. We're talking 3 as in actual Connor Kenway.
Yeah. That's Assassin's Creed 3. So, but Brotherhood was technically the third game.
Okay.
Yes.
No. So 3. Connor's one.
I call it 2. I call it 2. Assassin's Creed 2 Part 1.
2 Part 1. I like that. That's actually kind of funny.
And then there's the other one that's 2 Part 2. 2 Part 2.
I remember buying that, playing it, and then I got stuck on a mission, and 5 to 10 years later, found out that there was a bug.
Oh, that's all it was?
It was a bug. So if you fucked up something before doing it, when you went into the camp, it didn't matter what you did, you would lose.
You want to hear a fun one?
Mm-hmm.
Not Assassin's Creed, The Matrix came out with a game on PlayStation and Xbox. I cannot remember what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
I think Evolutions. I don't remember what it was. But you played as 1 or 2 characters, and based on who you picked,
mm-hmm.
you would do different things because they would do parallel missions. So like they would do a mission, and one person would do one thing, one person would do the other. Single player game, so it wasn't like a co-op game.
Yeah.
And if you used cheats at all, it would break the disc.
Oh.
Like somehow it would get fucked up.
That's cool.
I would say disc, but looking back, it was probably the memory. So if you deleted the memory card, you would. I don't know what it was. So like if you did cheats, you couldn't get past the second level as the female character, and you couldn't get past the first checkpoint on the first level as the male character.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that.
It broke the game.
That's awesome. That's actually awesome. Yeah, so but like Damien would have been a great villain for like if Constantine would have been, and that's one of the things is like the bad is that Arrow was supposed to be just Arrow. They introduced Flash just kind of as like let's see if this works. Backdoor pilot sort of thing. And then the universe expanded to what we have above us, right?
I want to point out when you sent me this graphic,
mm-hmm.
I was like, "Where's Oliver?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's the god above."
Yeah, that's because of Crisis on Infinite Earths stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But so like you have that, and then it's like so you have like all these shows on the different networks, but then like also like I said, they had the Vixen animated series, which you probably didn't see, did you?
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, so Vixen's a character who has a talisman, and like she can go like this, and then it's like elephant, and now she's like strong like elephant, like.
Oh, she was on Arrow.
Yeah. So they did an animated series. There was like 5 episodes, 10 minutes each. So it was an animated movie that they just chopped up. And then they also did Freedom Fighters: The Ray, which was like from one of the crossovers where they go to Planet X. And there's like it's like Nazi Oliver, Nazi Supergirl, like that sort of thing. And it was
we must protect this Reich.
No, seriously, like yeah, like what Supergirl and Oliver were dating in that universe, and like Supergirl is like the leader.
She's Homelander.
Yeah, and like Oliver shoots her in the fucking shoulder with a kryptonite arrow.
Have you watched The Boys? Speaking of like,
yes, not the new season though. I'm not caught up.
Oh, but you watched 3 seasons. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I'm caught up right now. It's
I've seen. I can't avoid. You can't avoid spoilers these days. So
you have to. It's something you got to watch right away because there's something that happened in the most recent episode that gave me for the first time watching the Boys episode, it made me go, huh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
And that has yet to happen. And everything that's happened, this is the first time I couldn't look. I was like, oh my. Ugh.
Yeah. No. Like. They did a lot of really good things with, we already did the good things on the bad things. Like I said, the writing was like, at the end of the day, let's just do this because we're pushing it now. We're getting a little bit up there in time now, and the crossovers were great. Let me hit that real quick. Crossovers were great. Crossovers were nice, big events that happened. The thing that kind of sucks, though, is that you really have to, if you're going back and rewatching it, like I'm looking here, it's like Season 5, Episode 8, Season 3, Episode 8. No. So Season 3, Episode 8 is the first episode, Season 5, Episode 8 is the second episode, and then Season 2, Episode 7 is the third. Because it's crossed 3 different shows, so you have to go...
Oh, yes. But you have to look that up. It's not like...
It's not common knowledge.
Like, I wish they would even at the beginning of the episode be like, hey, this is part of a...
Exactly. Like, so
whatever it is.
Crisis on Earth X, which is the Nazis. It's like part 1 is on part 1 is on Supergirl. Part 2 is on Arrow. Part 3 is on Flash, and then part 4 is on Legends. And it's not like it's episode 8 across the board. So at least you know what episode it is. Like, in the later series, they started doing that, so it's the same episode across the board. But then, like, even this one, it's like, part 5 is a special episode. It's literally just a special episode. Like, this one, episode 1 through 5.
You also would call it lazy, but incorporating 4 episodes together across 4 shows is, like, a big feat. So it's not lazy. It's just it's not like
it's just not
optimized, I guess I would say.
It's a brilliant way to make a movie level event happen in a TV show, in a TV series, in a TV universe. That's what it is. It's a genius way of doing it because, like, if you think about it, this is 5 episodes, all between 45 and an hour long, that tell one story.
Okay, so the big one I've run into watching Arrow is when they had Hawkman.
Yep.
And the girl with the wings too.
Hawk Girl.
There's this whole thing. Then they showed up, and then like Cisco and her were like in love, and it was like you're watching this, you're like, what did I miss? And, like,
Yep. So that was. Where's that one? That's not Invasion. That's not World's Finest. Heroes join forces. Legends of Today, because I was setting up Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that's when Vandal Savage shows up.
Yes.
And Vandal's there. Yeah. Which is funny because it's episode. So the first part of that series, the reason why you're so confused with it, you know why? Part 1 takes place on Flash.
So, like, I know that. I had watched it when it came out. But, like, if I had just been, like,
just an average,
I'd be like, so here it is. Do I smell toast? Am I having a stroke?
So, in the 2019 crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths, it incorporated several DC Entertainment properties into the Arrow multiverse, including those that had already been established in previous series crossovers. The new properties that appeared in this included 1966 Batman, 1989 Batman, the movie, Smallville, Birds of Prey, the TV series, Superman Returns, the Brandon Roth movie, Green Lantern, the film, the DCEU, Ezra Miller, Lucifer, Titans, Swamp Thing, Doom Patrol, Stargirl. So it was one of those things where, like, to me, like, this goes back just because I'm just scrolling down the page now.
This
so
is Swamp Thing, that show that you said is really good that you can
Yes.
only watch. It's like very hard to find.
Yes. There was a lot of bullshit that happened with money. This was back when Disney Plus came out, so DC did the DC Universe, which was a really cool idea and concept. However, though, it just didn't work. But you could read comic books on it, you could buy stuff straight from the DC store off of it, and they had their own movies and TV series. Here's the problem, though. If you were going to do, and this is just for you, DeNutte, and for the people, if you were going to do a DC Universe website, series, streaming, whatever fucking thing you want to call it, you would expect to have every single DC property on it, correct? They didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when they did like a HBO thing where it was like, it was on for the month, and then it's off for a month, then it's on for a month, and it's off for a month. Instead of just having everything DC there. And I think that was one of the big things that killed it. But so that was on there along with Titans and Doom Patrol. Titans and Doom Patrol were filmed before Swamp Thing, therefore Swamp Thing got. But then also they did fuck the Titans ending for season 1. But, like...
Which was... Not only not like it wasn't that DC Network thing, it wasn't Titans. No, I'm thinking of a different show. There was a superhero show that was only available on PS5. I can't remember the name of the show, but it was a comedy show.
Yeah, that was
where it was like a version. It was like The Office, but superheroes.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was. I think it was DC because it was. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't.
Yeah, but I can't remember what.
They were civil.
It's called Super or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, they were like civil workers for Metropolis, and they were like having to clean up the city after Superman destroyed it. It was that sort of shit.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember the name. Yeah, but it was only available on PS5, and then they're like, "Why didn't anyone watch it?" Or PlayStation? Sorry, not PS5. And they're like, "Why didn't anyone watch it?" And you're like, "Well."
Yeah. So this says it's right here. Is one of the things it says 2021 crossovers planned. So like one of the things, Diggle. They took the idea of Diggle. Diggle is. I mean, I can't. Do you care if I spoil something for you later on? I won't. I won't if you don't want me to. I'll say it like that.
You go.
All right. Diggle apparently was supposed to be a Green Lantern.
That's too bad. That would make sense.
Later on, he gets the Green Lantern ring. And he refuses it.
Oh.
Yes. But, like, because we find out, like, I think at one point, like, his last name is Stewart. Or, like, there's something with Stewart's his middle name. So it's John Stewart Diggle or something like that. And it's like, it makes sense. And then they did this whole thing, and they teased us with it. And then they kept teasing us with it. And then he, like, denies the fucking ring.
Who he is as a person makes sense because he's very, I wouldn't say self-righteous. That's not the right way. But he's, like, very... he's chaotic good. I don't even call him chaotic, but he's like he's like the guiding light on the show.
Yeah, so he refused the invitation of whatever was in the box. It's like, just fucking dumb. Multiverse stuff, there was the Flash 1990 series, which is extremely campy, extremely fun to watch. Mark Hamill is in it. He's the Trickster. I think it is. His name is in it.
Barry's dad in the Flash.
Yep. Is it the Trickster, or what is his actual name in this? I want to say it's the Trickster. It is. It's the Trickster. Mark Hamill plays the Trickster in it, which is hilarious. There's the Constantine show, which we already talked about, and then Superman and Lois. Marketing was good for it because it was a solid thing. That's wild. I mean, I also agree with that statement as well. I'm just looking at the critical response on Rotten Tomatoes. They gave season 8 85. Fucking crackpots. This is why we don't pay attention.
For Arrow?
Yeah, this is why we don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, so at the end of the day, this is it. So now let's start wrapping this up. Because we kind of we hit on some things, we tangented, we came back, we hit on some things, tangented, came back, kind of the usual thing here. We just wanted to take a look back at the Arrowverse, for the good, the bad, the ugly that it was, right? A lot of good moments, a lot of bad moments, some really ugly moments that we don't want to ever think about again.
Ambitious is what I would describe it.
Yes, for what it was, they were trying to do what streaming networks do to a higher level with less money.
Yeah. Because like, look at the cost of like these Marvel shows they're putting out. It's less than half the episodes, and it's probably like 5 times the price.
Well, like, and you can tell as well, because like there would be episodes where like there would be like stretches of episodes where there's like no CGI. There's no computer graphics. And then out of nowhere, it's like Grodd shows up, and you're like, oh, that's why we just went 7 episodes with no CGI and like all fist fighting. It's because we were saving the budget for Grodd. Got it.
Well, you look at like the unedited stuff of like Barry running, and then and it's like it's very bad, and you're like, okay, well they put a lot of budget towards the set Flash for sure, but like the CGI running, it's fun. I always think it back to where he's running and he looks back, goes, ah!
Oh yeah,
yeah, that one always.
That one, and then the other one that I like is the crossover with him and Supergirl when he's like, "Oh no, they're here," and then she's like, "I'll stop them," and she just like jumps in the air and then falls back down. And it's one of those things that's like,
and then
behind the
another
scenes
one I love
so
is
much fun. Like
when they're all around Oliver Queen's grave and they're like this.
Oh yeah,
and like I guess the actor, Oliver's actor, hates that, and he's like, "Stop posting this." Yeah. He's just a real curmudgeon about it.
It's like I said, there's a lot of really good moments. There's a lot of really good villains. We didn't even there's so much stuff that we could hit on. We could keep talking for another like hour probably if we But like Deathstroke.
Yes.
Typically not a Arrow villain. But in this series they set him up for 2 seasons, fantastically done, and the actor that plays him, fucking fantastic. Manu Bennett fucking killed it. I can't say enough good things about that character as a villain. And then they have him come back in later seasons, which is always fantastic to see. Even if it isn't a massive, giant thing, still seeing him come back, put on the suit, do his thing, I keep my promises, kid, I love it. And the Mirakuru. Flash had
Shadow.
Shadow. Flash had some fantastic villains. Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, even
even the guy who plays Zoom, like that guy's fantastic.
Yes. Well, it's funny. So that's the one that. So the guy who plays Zoom, Teddy Sears or Spears. I don't know if it's Sears or Spears. It's one of the two, but we're pretty sure he's the Flash that they show running on the treadmill in the Flash movie. Because he looks exactly the same. Which is weird that you would pick that out of all of the Flashes that you could pick. That's the one you pick. Or like fantastic villains there. I'm trying to think in. Because you have Damian and you have Damian. God, who's the other one in Legends? Because there's the 3 of them. There's Damian. There's Earbod, and then there's. I think it might be Malcolm Merlin, but I could be wrong there. I think I am wrong there. And still, villains. Honestly, Prometheus. You're going to get to that right next. That's the next season for you. I'm very excited for you to get to Prometheus. It's so fucking good.
It's funny. I've watched all this. I don't remember. That's how much...
And that's the thing is like there's so much because I'm trying to think right now and I'm trying to think of Supergirl villains and like I genuinely just didn't like any of the villains in Supergirl. I'm trying to think of Batwoman. The only real Batwoman one was Crazy Alice, and Crazy Alice is fucking awesome. Flash, we kind of hit on the main ones. DeVoe was kind of cool, but then they really went weird when they started doing everything other than speedsters, and then they tried to do Godspeed, and that was a shit show. Then they brought Reverse Flash back, and then they brought this Tobias Whale in Black Lightning was fucking awesome.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Crushing skulls.
Oh, what was his name? I don't want to say Killmonger because I know that's not the right name.
That's
Painkiller. Kill Pain. God damn it. So I just closed the link too. Black Lightning. Not Kill Tobias. Painkiller. It is, okay, it's Painkiller. Painkiller. Another fantastic villain in it. Legends of Tomorrow was just all over the place with their villains, so I'm not even gonna try to do any there. But I mean, so like the villains were some of the villains were fantastic. Some of the villains were incredibly forgettable. So there's a lot of really cool moments. One of my favorite moments in Arrow is actually from season 3 when it's with Ra's al Ghul. And it's their fight on top of the mountain in Nabapot.
Oh yeah, that Ra's is also very good too.
Yes.
Another Australian.
I just love that fight scene because they turn there's music, there's sound, there's the extra sound, there's music, there's all that going, and then as soon as the fight scene starts, they cut it all. So it's just all you hear is the noise of the wind, the swords hitting, and them breathing heavy, and it sets such a weird tone. This, like, almost like a very realistic, weird, like, you're there tone to the fight. And then the fact that, like, sword through chest, kick him off the mountain, and that's the end of the season. Because that was the mid-season. So if you're watching that live, like I did...
That's right, I forgot. They always had a mid-season break.
Yeah, that was the mid-season break, was them killing Oliver. And we genuinely... Because at this point, they hadn't announced that they were renewing the season. So we just genuinely thought, like, I genuinely thought that Oliver was dead at that point, because it was just, that's it, right? So a lot of really good moments. Flash giving himself up to protect the Flash. Just, there's so many bad moments. Like Batwoman.
And I think we'll end it there, because like Felicity... in that episode, season 4, where she just starts walking again, I got to go.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a way to make that funny because, like, in season 4, she breaks up with Oliver, and then that's her catalyst to be like, "Oh, my legs are working again."
Yeah.
Not only am I walking out on you, I can walk out on you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually walking out on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so for all the good that it did, all the bad that it did, at the end of the day, the CW Arrowverse, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because at one point they were trying to make it the Flashverse. Did you know about that? After
the Arrow.
So after Arrow got done with and Oliver dies, the Flash actors.
He dies?
Like, yeah, he dies in the end. Like,
spoiler.
I mean.
That one I actually didn't know.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
There's your reason for why there's only 10 episodes in season 8. But this is the other thing though, is that you will notice at this point, when that happened, the viewership started to fall, and the creativity of the show started to fall, and everything started to fall as soon as that happened. That moment, because that's part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. And they set it up in the next couple seasons, like, you'll see. Like, they set it up, and they actually are like, oh, you have to actually, like, do this. And that was the point where the Arrowverse starts to die. Surprisingly, the Arrowverse dies with Arrow. And it's sad, but that's how it happened. Like I said, enough of me spoiling things for DeNutte that he doesn't know. In 4 months, maybe he will forget that I said it. When he's watching it.
Yeah.
But here's the question, though, for you guys. 1, what did you guys think of the Arrowverse? Did you guys like the Arrowverse? Did you not like the Arrowverse? Do you not give a shit about DC? Let us know down in the comments down below.
It's great background stuff.
It really is. It genuinely is a great just kind of throw on, do stuff. I kind of do that with anime that I've watched before that I just genuinely like. I might now start doing it with this. I genuinely have the DVDs of everything.
For all the Arrowverse? Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You'll never not have it.
That's the reason why I have it, is because I was like, I'm gonna own it all. And then I bought it all, and then even when it started going downhill after Arrow, I was like, oh. Should probably still.
That's crazy, because that's got to be dozens of DVDs.
Oh yeah, it's a full, like this bookcase right here where I go to my Glitchon. It's one of those full.
Yeah.
Like literally full.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I think, it's very different than the Marvel, like the series, but I do think it's better overall than the Marvel series.
Arrow or this Arrowverse in general?
Arrowverse. It has way more content, and you know what? On a surface level, the writing's just as good.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, and it's one of those things. Like I will argue that unless the production value is so great that you just get fully lost in it, it is tremendously better to tell a story over 23 episodes than it is 10.
I also think all these like Marvel stuff is all like money laundering shit, because like I don't understand like how they're spending the money that they're spending on this.
I don't know.
Because they're spending like even like Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the one that just came out on I think HBO. I watched all the episodes.
It was HBO on Netflix.
I'm just trying to... Yeah, I forget what it was, but they're spending.
Yeah, it's on one of the 90 streaming services that we have now. But no, I agree. I agree. I see it.
I just want to look because I remember seeing this and my brain wanted to explode.
You have to pay all those child actors.
$15 million an episode.
That's insane.
Which I actually thought it was more than that.
But still, I mean, that's still a lot of fucking money.
So it was $100 million for the 8 episodes.
Yeah, no, I mean,
she's like, I'm like, and like when you're watching it, you're like, where did this money come from? Because it's not like the CGI isn't good, and like they don't have like the crazy sets. The only crazy set, I guess, if you're familiar with Percy Jackson, there's the summer camp.
Yes.
They have one set on the summer camp, which is like 6 dorms that they all built. They're like, it's like a big like central area. It's outside in the forest, but it's not like crazy. But like the set design's not crazy. Like I just don't know where they spent that money.
Yeah, I have no clue. Yes, I mean it's a great question because I fucked if I know.
Yeah, like literally, like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying their writers and they're not paying the actors.
Like, yeah, they're fucking pocketing it all. We need 150 million for this. All right, here's 150 million. Cool. We're gonna spend 50 million to actually make the movie now, though. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments down below. And if you made it this far, you know what? Fuck it. If you made it this far, comment and tell us what you want us to talk about next week. How about that? See how many comments we get. How many comments are we gonna get today?
I think we'd be lucky if we got one.
Yeah, I think we'd be lucky if we get one too. But anyways,
if we got one, I love you.
Yeah, we love you. As you and me go comment on it when it comes out.
I'm gonna pull out one of my burners.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think of the Arrowverse, what you want us to talk about, what you guys don't want us to talk about, blah, 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 blah. As always, depending on where you are, more than happy to even nice to we'll stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. All right, bye.